There was an old coat beside the neighbor's chimney, but it was not hanging from a line. Someone had pushed a bamboo pole through it, holding the shoulders open while the sleeves hung at its sides. From my grandmother's roof, it looked like a man standing there. I remember waiting for the wind to move it. The leaves below were shaking, and smoke from the chimneys was drifting across the rooftops, but the sleeves stayed exactly where they were. That night, I saw the coat again. I was 10 when this happened, during a holiday visit to my grandmother's village in southern China. My parents had spent most of the day driving there. After we arrived, they stayed inside talking with her, and I went into the courtyard. A wooden ladder led to the flat roof, so I climbed up. The houses in that part of the village were built close together. My grandmother's roof joined the one next door, separated only by a low wall. I walked around for a while, looking down at the narrow lanes and small gardens, before noticing the coat beside the neighboring chimney. It was old and dark. The bamboo pole ran through the body and kept it upright. I could not understand why anyone would dry clothing that way. My mother called me down for dinner. I did not mention it. At the time, it was only an odd thing someone had left on a roof. That night, I dreamed I was standing there again. The coat was no longer beside the chimney. It was on my grandmother's side of the low wall. The cloth around the chest had filled out, as though someone had stepped into it. An old man's face showed above the collar. His mouth moved slowly, but I could not hear him. Then the tiles beneath my feet became hot enough to hurt. Almost at once, the heat disappeared, and I began shaking from cold. My parents woke me because I was shouting and pulling at the blanket. I kept pushing it away, then asking them to cover me again. "Too hot," I said. "I'm cold." My father gave me some water. He said I had probably dreamed about the coat because it was the last strange thing I had seen before going to bed. The next morning, my grandmother heard what had happened. She went into the courtyard, looked toward the neighboring chimney, and stood there for a moment. Then she began shouting across the wall. "Take it down," she called. "Don't leave that thing beside my house." No one answered. My father brought her inside and asked what the coat was. "It belonged to old Lee," she said. Old Lee had lived next door with his son and daughter-in-law. My grandmother said he did most of the heavy work around the house. One summer afternoon, during the hottest part of the day, he was sent to carry water near the river. He collapsed beside the bank, fell in, and died. After that, his daughter-in-law reportedly began dreaming that he returned at night and stood beside her bed. Someone in the village told the family to take one of his old coats, stretch it over bamboo, and place it high beside the chimney. According to the rumor, the sun would heat the clothing during the day while the night air would make it bitterly cold. Whatever still clung to the coat would suffer with it and stop returning to the house. My grandmother did not say whether she believed any of this. She was angry because the coat had been placed beside a roof connected to hers. "You were only a few steps from it," she told me. She asked my parents to take me home the following morning. Before we left, I looked up from the courtyard. The wind was moving through the trees, and a thin trail of smoke was bending above the neighboring roof. The coat was still standing beside the chimney. Its sleeves hung straight down. Subscribe to Mistcurrent stories for more unexplained encounters, strange local legends, and mysteries with no clear answer.